This is a Smoke Out series with Guzalia Davis, and I have a very special guest today, Lisa Hubbard. She's a hypnotherapist, master of neurolinguistic programming, and a life coach. Welcome, Lisa. How are
Thank
you?
you. Very good. Thank you, Gazella, for having me.
So today I will be asking you questions that people usually ask when they call to book in for smoking cessation.
Okay.
You know, the standard ones everybody have. Does it really work? Please give me your opinion.
Okay. Does it really work? Yes, it absolutely works if you are ready to actually stop smoking. I actually used hypnosis myself to stop smoking. So, and I mean, I had stopped smoking before without hypnosis. So I know there's a world of difference. It's much easier to do it with hypnosis, but again, the main thing is, you truly have to want it. If it's somebody that wants to bring their husband there, like I just actually had that this morning. A woman called me and she wanted her husband to stop smoking, but he wasn't willing to talk to me or do a consultation. So those are the ones, where it probably isn't going to work for. Unlike what people may be led to believe, we can't make you really do anything you don't want to do. So if you're ready to stop smoking and be, free of smoking, hypnosis works beautifully.
Very good. Another question people often ask, at least me, um, they would say, okay, I understand you can help me quit smoking with hypnosis, but what about all the symptoms of withdrawal? How will I deal with that? I think they have this misconception that we cannot address those in hypnosis somehow. What would you tell them?
Right. Okay. Well, what I do is I spend about an hour and a half the first session, hopefully the last session, and I go over, I basically figure out which beliefs they have with that and try to rewrite them, because a lot of those things that people believe aren't actually what happens. Everybody's different. And I also give them like tools. I give them tools if they are having cravings. I give them, like, they can tap, or I give them different tools. And I explain to them that most of the time it's not so much a physical withdrawal, it is just like the association, like I smoke when I'm in the car or I smoke after I eat. So it's just like breaking those patterns and changing them and becoming really aware of, what's driving them to smoke.
Share with us one tip.
One tip. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll share two. Okay. One is the bilateral stimulation. So if somebody's having a real strong, like they really want a cigarette, it's coming really strong, I have them, feel it in their body, notice where they feel it. I have them rate it, like on 1 to 10, how intense this craving is. And then I just have them take any object and move it back and forth, like to midline, but keeping their head straight, just like that. And what happens is it breaks that pattern up. And so they can't be doing that craving when they're doing this at the same time. And then I have them, come back in and check, and it's usually much lower and they've kind of gone off, because the truth of the matter, cravings really don't last very long if you stop and break it and do something else. It's when you just keep focusing on it, it becomes that loop. So that I use, and then I do the tapping, where you can just tap on the Meridian Points. Do you want me to show you that?
I think
Or,
everybody would love that.
oh, you think everyone would love that? Okay, so basically it's the same thing, it's important to bring the
Lisa, may
feeling.
I interrupt you for a moment? So we're
Yes,
talking about cravings right now, right?
yes.
So that can be applied not just to smoking, right? Sugar, alcohol,
Everything, everything. Yes.
Impulsive behavior, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's so
Anytime you
good.
need to stop the pattern. Yeah, anytime you need to stop the pattern, it's very, very amazing. Yeah. So
Or
basically, this is what it is. You bring, it's important to bring the feeling up, because what you're telling your brain is, when I feel this craving, I don't want to feel that. I want to feel the end game. So it's kind of like a cut and a paste. So you bring the craving up. So what I'm saying is, you don't want to just start tapping like for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, the craving comes, you feel it. And I like to say rate it, so you can tell if it's getting better. And then all as you do is you bring that feeling up, and I'm going to take these glasses off. And I just say, I release and let it go. I just release and let it go. And I do it like, I think it's supposed to be 8 times. And then right here, just release and let it go. These are the meridian points. I release and let it go. Just let it go, whatever. Here and here, and then right here. And then this is what I do. I just do this. I put my hand around my wrist and take a really deep breath in, and then peace. And so basically, you're telling your brain, and then check in. What do you feel? Then what do you feel? And then usually it's lower. Almost always it's lower. If it isn't all the way to 0 or 1, you can do another round. But again, you're teaching your brain, when I feel this craving, I want to feel this instead. And if you tap a lot, you're going to get to the point where you can just go like this and say peace, and your whole body will just, it remembers, and it will just feel this peaceful feeling. So that's a great tool for a lot of things, not just.
it is, and I know it's very effective. So listen up, people. And no matter how strong the craving is, if you break that pattern, if you do something like Lisa showed us, it takes only 17 seconds for that craving to pass.
Isn't that amazing? 17 seconds. Yeah, that's amazing.
How do you see your clients? Online or in person? How do you prefer to work?
I work, either way works just as well. I do online Zoom sessions, as well as I see people at a yoga studio in Bowie, Maryland. But either way works. I'm right now, I have a couple people in California that I'm helping with vaping sessions with. So it all works. Mm-hmm. Just, like I'm saying, if you're ready, hypnosis is really great.
Yes.
And you know that, don't you?
And I see the proof every day, really, in my office. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Many people concerned that the sessions that are not in person may not be as effective.
Okay, yeah, and I know there's a lot of people that believe that. And I actually, in the beginning, believed that too. I was thinking, is this really going to work online? I really didn't expect it to work as well as it does. In fact, I have one girl that I'm working with right now who, she came to me to do one-on-one sessions, and the first 2 sessions she came to me, and then the last 3 sessions she did online. And she actually said, she loves to come see me and everything, but she said she just has this, she's just more comfortable at home. She's just in her own environment. She doesn't have like the stress of hurrying and getting here and all that. So I think, for most people, there are some benefits. So it seems to work.
Mm-hmm. So how would you tell people to prepare for such a session? Because it is a little different. We are not next to them. We can't tap shoulders or watch them very closely. So things like how to pick a chair, how to position camera, because we need to see their face.
Right. That is, that's one thing I do have, which was a learning process for me. But yes, like I have to be able to see their hands to give signals and things like that. So but other than that, in headphones, I think headphones they're not completely necessary, but I think it just makes for a nicer experience. but just, yeah, I have them just sit in an upright chair and, you know, just where they won't be bothered or disturbed for a little while. And where, you know, hopefully I can see, ideally is to be able to see their whole body, or at least like how I can see you.
Very good.
But as far as preparing before the session, is that the question? Did you have that question?
That was the next one.
Oh,
Thank
I'm sorry.
you.
Okay. See, I can read your mind. Yeah. So what I do is I have them become really aware of the pattern. It's a smoking pattern. Like, you know, we have a pattern to drive a car. People that smoke have a pattern to smoke. Most of the time, they're not really smoking consciously. So what I do is I have them become really aware of when they're smoking. Like what's happening right before, who are you with, you know, what's the environment, so that type of thing. Like, is it right when you get up? So really picking that apart. But what I also do is I have them keep their cigarettes in another location. I also have them, when they smoke with the opposite hand that they normally smoke with. And I have them like take the cigarette out of the pack with the other hand. I have them light the lighter with the other hand. And I also suggest that they smoke in a different location. So if they always smoke in the car, not to smoke in the car at all. So to make it as just conscious as I can, you know? So they're smoking with the opposite hand, they're smoking in different locations and really paying attention. And I think that that has been really helpful for my clients, because it does have them, they start to become really aware of how many cigarettes they just smoked that they weren't even aware they were really smoking. So
Very good tip. Yeah, I can see how that can be very helpful. When people call, would you let them come in right away, or you'd rather leave some time before the session so they have time to mentally prepare?
yes, what I do usually when they call, if that's the consultation, I go over, you know, and I feel like we're a good fit, because it's very important to me for both of our, you know, I want them to be successful, because I don't want, you know, I want them to be excited about hypnosis and how it can change their life. And so I really want to make sure that we're a good fit. So if I do believe we are a good fit, I will give them the tools, the things I want them to use and then schedule it like 4 days later. So I'd like to give them at least 3 or 4 days of smoking in the other locations, using the other hand, just to get them started and to get them really, you know, prepared. Because I think, you know, the more groundwork that we can lay down for them for success, the more they'll be successful. I think it's also very important to evaluate if there's other more serious issues going on, because if somebody has like extreme stress in their life, you know, I will go ahead and work on that before the cigarettes or the smoking, you know.
Yes, it's never really just about smoking.
Right. No, it's not. And it's kind of like, and for some people, if they're like in a not a good place, you take that from them. That's, you know, pretty much their only coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to add something. I know a lot of people feel like, and I know I as well felt, I smoked cigarettes and I changed to the vape. And I thought I was so proud of myself, and I told myself I had stopped smoking. And I just want to warn people that the vapes are actually, I'm having a harder time helping people stop those than the cigarettes. And I believe the reason is because people will say, well, they don't smell, and everybody doesn't, you know, they don't have the stigma that the cigarettes did, but we don't know what the vapes do. So, you know, just trying to bring the awareness to not buy that story, because I don't think they're perfectly safe. I think they're maybe just as dangerous. We don't know.
I actually started to see a lot more people for vaping right now after we had some news about people dying
Yes.
from vaping. And it used to be just like you said, used to be for me the same. A lot harder to get people stop vaping than smoking because they believe that it's a safer option.
Right. And another thing is the vape, you can use it anywhere. You know what I mean? Like people sleep with it right next to them in their bed. And you know what I mean? It's just like this one guy, he, you know, sits at his office at work. You can't smoke and do that anymore. So they're just, you know, a lot easier. You don't have to go outside in the cold to smoke your vape. You don't. So a lot more associations of when you do it.
Yes, true. Would you have a special offer for listeners in honor of the Great American Smokeout Day?
I would offer $100 discount for anyone that watches this and books a session.
Very generous. I will put the links below, so watch out.
Thank you, Guzalia.
Thank you for the generous offer and all the tips. They're very practical, and I know they're very, very effective. And
Thank
I'm
you.
sure people that will use them will benefit greatly.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your time, Lisa. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.